So there's a question that comes up in my comments quite a lot, and that is, what lens did I use in this video or that video, etc, etc. So rather than answering that in comments, I thought I'd make this video to show you all of my lenses so you know exactly what I'm working with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head out in a second and give you a bit of an idea of how these lenses perform on the different setups that I use. So you've got good insight on that. I think that just makes sense for this type of video, right? Anyway, that's what we're going to do. So something that I kind of need to make you aware of, when these questions were coming through, a lot of them was around the a5100. Obviously that being one of the cameras that I use for YouTube videos. How I go about buying lenses, at the time when I was only shooting with the a5100, I tried to future-proof myself. So basically what I did was, rather than buying APS-C lenses, I bought full frame lenses, knowing that at some point down the line I was going to be upgrading to a full frame camera. Obviously if you're shooting on an APS-C camera, full frame lenses work perfectly fine, you've got no issues with them. So it just, for me, it just made sense to do that rather than buying twice basically. Because who needs to do that? I know I ain't got the money to continuously be going out there and swapping out lenses just like that. So yeah, just something to make you aware of, man. So the first lens I ever bought was the Sony 50mm 1.8. I think this is the original. I don't know if they've got any other versions. I know they've got a 1.2 or a 1.4, but this was the one that I picked up anyway. At the time, I only had the a5100, so it was obviously for that camera. The reason I went for it was based on the advice of other YouTubers at the time, that mostly being people saying the 50mm is the first lens that every photographer needs to get, and it's the one that looks closest to what the eye sees and all of that sort of stuff there. The thing I didn't take into account was the APS-C having a crop factor, so that naked eye thing didn't necessarily work for me, because by the time it was on there, that 50 turned into about an 85. I think it's around 75, but let's call it 85, which kind of didn't give me the look that I was wanting. I wasn't actually shooting street or anything like that. I wanted to do more portrait stuff. I wanted to do more like product based things, and on the a5100, it works for portraits, it works for that type of thing, because you're getting that 85 look, which makes sense. The 85 is one of the beasts at doing that type of thing there. In all essence, when I got this at the time, I didn't actually use it a lot because it was so zoomed in. I knew that I needed something a bit wider to compensate for that 85 look, which was very hard to shoot with when you're on the street. But once it was on the full frame camera, it got that look that people were talking about. I think if people in the future are going to say that sort of thing, make sure you mention it's for APS-C and the conversion that you need to do with that, because it just fucks people up. Yeah, so once it was on the proper focal length and what it should be shooting at, it was great. It was good at video, it was good at low light. Obviously being in London, a lot of stuff's going to be low light anyway, and I did enjoy using it, but I did know that this wasn't going to be my overall king of lenses, because it wasn't giving me the look that I sort of wanted. I knew that I wanted something different, and obviously I guess like anything, you always want to expand and grow what your kit looks like, and rolling around with just one is very, very limiting. So that's my story with the 50 at the moment, or back then. So after the 50mm, I picked up a couple of APS-C lenses. I'm not going to mention them in this video because I don't have them anymore. So after those, I then bought my full frame camera, and the first lens I got with that was the Viltrox 85mm 1.8. And my reasoning for going with this lens at the time was it was the lens that everyone was talking about. It was everywhere on YouTube. Big creators were talking about it, saying how it was the best thing since sliced bread. So it made sense that I grabbed on, because it was just a hype, and you know how we do when
hype is around. Anyway, grabbed it, used it for street, tried to use it for street should I say, and realized that I'm not very good with this lens on street. For me, it's not really one that is a street lens. You can use it, but I would purely use this mainly just for portrait work if I was going to choose anything for it. And I guess I would try and learn to use it on the street in certain situations. I don't think it's an everyday sort of street lens. So if you was thinking about an 85, I would strongly suggest thinking about how you shoot photography and what you do. So yeah, that was my 85 and this is how it looks. So if you're just wondering what has been going on there, that was a good 10 minutes of trying to set up this Imaging Edge app so I could take pictures of myself. And that was a plan because I had to do it for the other camera as well. So I've wasted a good 20-30 minutes just out here doing that on both cameras. Annoying. Okay, so we're back and I'm gonna have to cut this one a little bit short because I had some technical issues while I was out there. I'm saying technical issues, really what's happened is I forgot a spare battery. I wasn't able to focus properly on some of the shots that I was trying to get because they were self-portrait bits, and also it started pissing it down with rain, or it was about to start pissing it down. So I thought, let me just head back and wrap this one up, call it a part 1, and I'll drop the rest of my lenses in another video that will be part 2. If you've liked what you've seen in this video, then it'll be great if you could drop a subscribe. Helps me out, helps the channel out, helps push the videos out there, as you all know. And comment, talk, let's engage, let's have a chat about different things. Let's go. Anyway, until the next video, peace out.